Hello and welcome back to my channel Learn and Educate. Today's topic is question tags. What are question tags? Question tags are mini questions or very short questions. Alright? Now let's see, why is a question tag used? A question tag is used to confirm if something is true or to get a reply from the person we are talking to. Alright, so question tags are very short questions used to get answers. Now let's remember few points that are important to frame question tags. The very first one is a positive statement will always have a negative question tag. Second, a negative statement will always have a positive question tag. Okay? Third, a question tag is made with the help of the same auxiliary verb in the given main statement, and the question tag ends with the subject pronoun. Now let's try to understand this with the help of examples. They are watching the movie, aren't they? Here, they is a subject, are is an auxiliary verb, watching is the main verb. Now come to the question tag. Again, are is the same auxiliary verb as in the main statement, plus not, plus subject pronoun. That means the subject should match the pronoun. If the subject is the name, then we will write he or she according to the gender of the name given. Second, the auxiliary verb should be the same. As you can see here, are in the main statement and are in the question tag as well. Here, aren't is the contracted form of are not. Why are we using are not? Because the statement is positive. So the question tag will be negative. Now, if we change the statement, then what will happen to the question tag? Let's see. They aren't watching the movie. Are they? Here, again, are not. The contracted form is aren't, which is an auxiliary verb. And in the question tag also you can see that we have used are, which is the same auxiliary verb as given in the main statement. Hope this much is clear to you. Now let's see if the statement has modal verbs. Modal verbs are can, could, will, would, must, should. Then the question tag must have the same modal verb. As we were having the same auxiliary verb earlier, similarly we'll have the same modal verb in the question tag as in the given main statement. Let's see few examples. They can visit tomorrow, can't they? Here, we see that the modal verb is can. So, the modal verb in the question tag will be can't. That is, can not. Alright? Let's see another example. Zina won't be late, will she? So, we see that the subject is Zina, who is a girl. So, the pronoun used in question tag for Zina is she. Won't is the modal verb which changes into will in the question tag, because won't is the contracted form of will not, and if the statement is in negative, then the question tag will be in positive. Therefore, we have used will in the question tag. Okay? Now let's see a few more examples. They use organic products. Now they is the subject, use is the main verb. But as seen earlier, we need an auxiliary verb or a modal verb to make a question tag, right? So here we have to assume that there is an auxiliary verb do. Generally, do is not written while framing a sentence because it's not common to say they do use organic product. Rather, we say they use organic product. So, the question tag will be they use organic product, don't they? Let's see another example. He does work hard. Do we say like that? No. Instead, we say he works hard. And the question tag will be he works hard, doesn't he? So what have we learnt? That when there is no helping verb, that is an auxiliary verb given in the sentence, then we have to assume that do, if the subject is plural, or does, if the subject is singular, is written in the sentence and use it accordingly to frame the question tag. Hope this much is clear to you. Now let's see a few more examples. I am writing a letter. What will be the question tag for this statement? I am writing a letter. Amn't I? No, this is wrong. We don't say amn't I. For am, we say aren't. So the question tag will be I am writing a letter. Aren't I? I am not writing a letter. Am I? So we see that to frame a negative question tag for be verb, we use aren't. Now let's have a quick review of the topic question tags. A question tag is a short question at the end of a statement. Question tags are used when asking for agreement or confirmation. Now let's see the two types of question tags. A positive statement gives a negative question tag. Let's see an example. You are a student, aren't you? So here, you is the subject which changes into a subject pronoun in the question tag. Are, which is a positive auxiliary verb, changes into negative. That means are not or aren't. Now the next type is a negative statement forms a positive question tag. Let's see this with the help of an example. Mary isn't a teacher, is she? So here, Mary is the subject which changes into a subject pronoun she in the question tag. Isn't is negative which changes into positive in the question tag and becomes is. Now let's compare the positive question tags and the negative question tags with the help of few examples. Now here you have to focus on the dark colored boxes. This will help you to understand how the auxiliary verbs and modal verbs are changing in the question tags. So let's start. First we'll see positive question tags, okay? Negative statement will give positive tags. So let's start. You aren't a teacher, are you? So what's happening here? Aren't, that is are not, is changing into are. Next, he isn't crazy, is he? Here what's happening? Isn't, that is not, is changing into is. Next is he wasn't relaxed, was he? So what's happening here? Wasn't changes into was. Similarly, don't becomes do, didn't becomes did, haven't becomes have, hadn't becomes had, won't becomes will in the question tag because won't is the contracted form of will not. So will not will change into will in the question tag. Can't becomes can, couldn't becomes could, mustn't becomes must, shouldn't becomes should, and wouldn't becomes would. Now let's see negative question tags. Positive statements will give negative question tags. Let's see a few examples. You are a student, aren't you? So what are we doing here? We are changing are into aren't. Aren't is the contracted form of are not. Next, he is very busy, isn't he? We are changing is into isn't, which is the contracted form of is not. He was happy, wasn't he? So what's the auxiliary verb here? Was. And was is changing into wasn't, which is the contracted form of was not. They were surprised, weren't they? Were changes into weren't. Next, you speak English, don't you? Remember, we learned to assume, do or does in the given statement and write the question tag. This example is from there. Similarly, we have he studies Spanish, doesn't he? You studied for the test, didn't you? Similarly, have changes into haven't, had changes into hadn't, will changes into won't, can changes into can't, could into couldn't, must into mustn't, should into shouldn't, would into wouldn't. And the last one is I am late, aren't I? Am changes into aren't. I hope the topic question tags is clear to you. We will be learning about transformation of sentences in another video, so stay tuned for that and do like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.